It's been quite a while since I reviewed a adventure from DriveThruRPG on my channel. It used to be the lifeblood of my channel, but I kind of stopped doing it in favor of some bigger companies and some bigger books. But I want to start doing it more again on my channel for the simple reason of there being a lot of hidden gems out there. And the world is kind of on fire, and buying physical stuff from the other side of the world is getting damn near impossible. So this is the Tale of Wretched Molly. Hi there fellow roleplayers and game masters, my name is Mr. Tarask and this is the Tale of Wretched Molly, an adventure from DriveThruRPG that will only set you back a few dollars. And I used to do these reviews a lot on my channel, but I kind of lost track of all of that stuff. But there's so many hidden gems, small modules and adventures for you to grab on DriveThruRPG. It's just a shame that almost nobody on YouTube is covering them. So with this one, it's the first one from the new era that I will cover these products in. This one is by Rumpelstiltskin Productions, or Rumpelstiltskin, just like that, and it is a Tales of the Valiant compatible adventure, meaning that as an adventure, as a one-shot adventure, it's completely backwards compatible with 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. It is only the two, I think it's only the two player options, which is a lineage and a heritage, that are in here, that are written for Tales of the Valiant, or at least Black Flag role-playing. So if you play with the Black Flag rules or the Tales of Valiant rules, you can use those player options. But in essence, this is just a 5th edition adventure. It is an underwater adventure, and it is really damn cool. Now, the reason that this caught my eye is because Rumpelstiltskin has just released a battle maps for Hymn of the Dragonflower. Hymn of the Dragonflower is the adventure by myself, Dutch Steverson, and JVC Perry. And Rumpelstiltskin decided to create battle maps for that and toss that on DriveThruRPG. So if you are right now playing Hymn of the Dragonflower, or you just need a few battle maps for €5 or $5 or whatever it is, you can pick those up. Yeah. Awesome that people are out there just doing this, creating battle maps for adventures that I write. It is actually really crazy that people are doing that. And so yeah, make sure to pick that up if you want to kind of like support that. But if you want to support Rumpelstiltskin, you can also get this adventure. Now, Rumpelstiltskin has been sending me a lot of his products, a lot of their products to check out, and I've been reading a lot of his products, but none of their products ever like really caught my eye enough to like dedicate an entire video on it. But this is one of those one-shot adventures that I really want to run in my campaign. Now, that said, I often, when I review stuff and when I like stuff, I don't necessarily exactly know why I absolutely love it, or I want to put it in front of my players. I just know that I I really love the kind of stuff that this is. This is an underwater adventures, the Tale of Wretched Molly, for 4 to 6 5th level characters. So when I say underwater adventure, this adventure is almost completely underwater. And you might be thinking, how will I get my players to go underwater? How they need to breathe underwater, be able to dock underwater. Now, Rumpelstiltskin has thought about that, because I'm going to go just all the way to the back here. There is a lineage and a heritage in here. Both of these are, if you play both of these, if you have this lineage or this heritage, you can basically breathe, and it's enough stuff to give to your players in order for them to be able to go underwater. So if you're playing this as a one-shot in terms of like, oh, you know what, guys, just create a level 7 Tales of the Valiant character with this lineage and this heritage, and let's just play this adventure, right? Then you got enough stuff right here for that. There is a lineage and there is a heritage. Now, if you're just playing 5th edition, before picking this up, make sure you have a way to give your players a way to go underwater. Now, this can just be as simple as a potion of water breathing and water talking or whatever. As a game master, you have the power, like maybe they get this quest and you're like, the quest giver just gives them the potions they need to drink, and then they have like 3 or 4 days in order to like do the quest and get rid of the threat and that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind when you decide to run this adventure. Now, what is this adventure? This is a one-shot adventure, but I'm going to be completely totally honest with you. It probably take my party about 2 sessions. Not 3, probably, but about 2 sessions, because they're a little bit more careful and they like to talk to people, especially if there's like a quest giver and they don't accidentally bump into this adventure, and there's a quest giver that gives them this adventure. Basically, there's probably going to be a little bit more work to it, a little bit more role playing to it, pondering on like tactics and that kind of stuff, and it will just take a little while. Also, there's there's potential for there to be somewhat more combat than like the main storyline gives you, basically. So that could combat often takes quite a while, especially the second tier of play. So yeah, what is this adventure? This is not like an overly long review. Again, this is just like pointing out that it exists. So the adventure takes place approximately 200 feet under the sea. Under the sea. It is assumed that the PCs will have some way of existing in the environment for extended periods via magic or a lineage. The lineage and the heritages are in the back of this book, so you can use those, but otherwise, as a game master, just do that. Now, what is happening here? It's basically, I don't really know why I fell in love with this module, but I think the art has something to do with it. I absolutely love this art. I don't know, it's just something about like the vagueness of it, keeping a lot to the imagination, which I can always super appreciate. So what it is there's basically this village called Sequavia, like aqua, but like Sequavia, I think that's the way you pronounce it. And there is this population that lives there. And it's this population of Cheltarians, which are like sea turtle-like humanoids. They live there, and they don't really have riches or anything. When they have riches, and everything they have is like on one big pile, and they use gold and coin and that kind of stuff only to do business with like the outside world, like the surface and that kind of stuff, surface villages, to like trade with them. Otherwise, they're like, what is this? Why is this useless gold stuff worth so much? They don't do anything with it outside of like business, and everything. The person who gathers underwater weeds puts that in like the common pile. The person who goes and catch fish puts that in the common pile. That kind of stuff, right? So at a certain point in time, there is this all of the town members disappear. So the players come up to like a underwater ghost town, basically, which should be like on the thumbnail. That's the 3 words, underwater ghost town. That's gonna be on the thumbnail. So basically, they all disappear, and what happens is there is this sea hack who has a magic item that can turn all of these Cheltarians into what do you call them? There is this word. Damn it, I forgot the word. Marrows. She turns townspeople into marrows, but it basically, like, the complete transformation takes about 7 days. So although all of the townsfolk are now in the dungeon of the sea hag, they are all following and kind of like worshipping the sea hag. They're not fully transmuted, which means that if the players are on time, there's still time to recover those marrows and turn them back into like the original form they had, like the sea turtle humanoid type of thing they had, right? So the Wretched Molly is basically that sea hack, and yeah, they come up to this like this underwater ghost town, and the first encounter is basically them finding a few survivors, lone survivors, alone in the city, in the town, but they also they are sea hags themselves, but they're just like, you know, sea hags can kind of like transform themselves, so they're like sea hags underneath like this layer of acting like they are part of the town. Players fall for it, or they don't fall for it. It might be combat, might be no combat. They might be taken to the sea hags' lair, or they might have to go into the lair themselves to go and try to destroy the sea hag. Try to save as many of these townfolk from becoming eternally becoming marrows, basically. And that is basically it. That is it. It is a really straightforward adventure in terms of story. But for me, the story combined with like the setting And the artwork, like the vibe of it, is really, 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 really great. Now, so we have the story, which is just a sea hack that is trying to turn an entire town into marrows. Has a few other sea hags that are trying to kill the characters. Also, the marrows are trying to kill the characters unless the characters can talk them out of it. Like, they're like, no, you used to be like this humanoid creature, you need to come back to your original form. And this might work. There's ways in this adventure for you, for your party, to like convince the marrows to go back to their regular form and go back to the town. So the characters basically save them if they do that. So there's the story, there's the setting, there is this like little plot twist in it, but then there's also more. There's all of the monsters you need for this adventure are in here. There's random encounters in here. There are let me see. So there's a lot of like everything they need in order to complete this adventure in terms of magic items or whatever is in here. But also, and this is great, this is cool stuff. So this is like a dungeon crawl, underwater dungeon crawl, basically. This is the dungeon. Like, there is this quick reference thing to kind of remind the GM to like what is going on, but also every area has its own bit of text with like more information of it. So you need to read the more information once and then get reminded about what's going on through this quick access thingy. That's something that I really, really like, design-wise, where you have this entire thing, like, okay, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. You read that like the day before or whatever, and then the same day, oftentimes all you need is this, just for like your brain to jump back to, oh yeah, that's what was going on, right? But then there's also a very cool amount of loot magic items that aren't what they are. And there's one of that aren't what they seem to be. And there's one magic item in here that I really like, which is the Potion of Dreams, the first one. The potion, I just really like it from a game design standpoint. It is something, yeah, it's a potion that gives the person who drank it the most vivid and pleasurable dreams, granting them plus proficiency bonus on all skill checks for the week. They then have a week's worth of most nightmarish dreams possible, giving them minus proficiency bonus on all skill checks until the time is up. Every day afterward, and this is the cool part, roll a d6. If you roll a 1 or a 2, good dreams, which gives you plus proficiency bonus. If you roll a 3 or a 4, it's just a typical evening. Nothing happens. If you roll a 5 or a 6, you get the nightmare part, which is minus proficiency bonus to all skill checks. This can be reversed with greater restoration. Creatures who do not need sleep aren't affected by this potion. I love this from a game design standpoint. This is one of those things that can be used for much longer times in your campaign without like really getting in the way. It offers a lot of great role-playing potential. It offers a lot of great storytelling potential, but it doesn't like break the game. It's not like you get this type of bane that completely destroys your character or the campaign or the group. Also doesn't make you overpowered. I mean, you could end up being a jack of all trades for like a week and being pretty good at damn near everything, but you can also end up being bad at almost everything, but not in a way that you are like useless, right? Because it's only on skill checks. It's not on like attack checks or spell casting and that kind of. It's only skill checks, right? So if you're doing a history check or a acrobatics check, that kind of stuff. I really like also the potential for a game master to kind of like give this information of what this potion does, like drip feed this information to your players. Love it, love it. There's another one that I really liked. Necklace of Power. Cursed necklace that increases the wearer's strength by 6 with a maximum of 24. But all other abilities by 6 with a minimum of 3. Remove curse, can remove the necklace. So it's a necklace you put on and now this can be a little bit more game breaking, so it's one of those things only as a game master I would only use the necklace of power if I knew my party was going to have a way to remove curse, either with like a monastery on the surface nearby. After this one shot is done, I will just put like a monastery there. If they go there, they can do the remove curse, or with a player character who has remove curse spell available to them. Maybe not in that particular day. They need to do like a long rest in order to prepare that spell, and then the wearer can get rid of that necklace of power. But there's like a lot of these, right? There's a potion of dreams, surging. Oh, there's a surging action potion. The potion that causes a physical mutation. So you might grow an arm or something like that. But once per day, you basically get an extra action, which is like an action surge. Like the fighter, an action surge. It basically gives you an action surge, but also reduces your speed by 5 feet. Now, if that is a trade-off, I would absolutely always go for that. If you get an action surge as a trade-off for 5 feet of movement, that's a good one. But you also get a physical mutation, like an extra arm or whatever, and it hurts and that kind of stuff. Yeah, really cool stuff here. Potion of invisibility looks like a potion of invisibility, but in reality makes the creature sterile and permanently smell like rotting fish. Disadvantage in charisma skill checks. It can be reversed with greater restoration. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's about it. All of the stat blocks are in here. As you can see, they're all built as stat blocks for Black Flag or Tales of Valiant role-playing games, but they're perfectly usable for 5th edition. So they're all in here. There's some great look at this artwork. I really, really love this artwork. Yeah, there isn't a lot of artwork in this one, but all of the artwork, outside of maybe this generic-looking shark, is absolutely incredibly cool artwork to my opinion, especially this one, and especially the hag that was further up. Yeah, really, I love this kind of stuff that leaves a lot still to the imagination and makes role-playing games fun, because it's the information you are fed through art is vague enough for you as a game master or a player to kind of imagine your own stuff around it. So that is the Tale of Wretched Molly by Rumpelstiltskin. Link in the description below for this adventure, but also for the battle maps they done for Hymn of the Dragonflower, which is really cool that this exists. So if you are doing Hymn of the Dragonflower in virtual tabletop, download this. You got maps for every encounter in Hymn of the Dragonflower. So yeah, the Tale of Wretched Molly. Go and pick it up. Link in the description below. Until next video, bye-bye.